Recording.
Talk to me, good.
Radio.
Really on the plug, really on the plug.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is V, aka Vtheplug, and you guys are tapped back into Plug Talk. We are at another location recording. I told you we were going to plug into the culture. You never know where it'll end up. We are at Piggy Bank's HQ headquarters. It's an amazing place here. And today I have a boss, a lady, an entrepreneur. She is running game out there with the CBD world and much, much more. I have Erika here sitting with me.
Thank you. Good to be here.
How's it going?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. We're in Orange County.
Yes.
It is chill. It's a little bit foggy out there.
It's fine though. It's 80. It's a nice break from the heat.
That's true. We got that. They usually say on overcast days it's the most exposure you get to the sun and burnt.
Right.
Yeah.
So be careful.
So yeah, definitely be careful. And I wanted to have you on because do you like a little bit of music in the background?
Whatever.
I'm gonna play some music for
Okay.
you because I like a little bit of music in the background. I'm gonna play this. Gonna get into it. No, I really wanted to have you on because I think you have a unique story that most people don't know about. Not only are you a business owner of your own brand, which I want to talk a little bit more about Blue Mist and how you kind of started. But before we get to how you started, I want to know how you were as a kid. What was your highlight of how people saw you or how you saw yourself? Because I think when we grow up and we are developed into who we are in our own identity as an adult, there's some things that happen when you're a kid.
Right.
So,
Well, I've always been very shy, very to myself. A very shy, quiet kid. And
Yeah.
I feel like that really translated to my adulthood because I'm very shy. If I go to outings, I'm in the corner. You know, like once people come and talk to me, I'll talk to them. But like, I'm not like, hey guys, here I am. Like, you know, I'm very,
yeah.
you know, I have to observe first before I get out
Oh,
there. Yes,
okay.
very
So
observant.
she's watching you. She's got her eye on you.
Absolutely.
And she's just, watching. And I think that's important to do when you're, an entrepreneur, have that mindset of putting something big together. You have to listen, you have to watch in what you're doing. Did you see yourself as an entrepreneur, a business owner, or what did you actually want to be as a kid?
Literally had no clue.
No
clue. When you're in high school and they're like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I have no idea. What classes should we put you in? I have no idea.
Get closer to the mic, I think, because you had no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I literally just kind of flew by the seat of my pants and whatever came along, I made it work.
Yeah. And you're from which part of the area?
Riverside.
Riverside.
Yes.
909 or 951?
It used to be 909. Now it's 951.
Okay.
So.
Do you think the 909s are, are a little bit more ratchet than the 951s?
For sure.
The 909s are like Rialto, Montana,
San
Colton,
Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah. They're out there.
I have my cousins. I have people out there too. I grew up in the same area, so it's nice to have both worlds. You always be a little bit of ratchet and a little bit of
Gotta know it all.
Gotta know it all. I gotta know your market. And speaking of your market and what Blue Mist is all about, how did Blue Mist come about?
Blue Mist came about. I was in the cannabis industry and my grandma had actually inquired about CBD products, but she's like, they're so expensive. Do you know anything about them? I brought her one. It worked a little bit. I knew the manufacturer, and like once you get into the industry and you understand how things are made, when people are being a little cheap and they're cutting little corners. So I knew this guy was a little cheap. So, but I was intrigued by the fact that the CBD worked. So since it worked, I have an engineering background, so I decided to go ahead and put my numbers on the paper and put it together.
Hold on, back up. You're an engineer.
Yes.
How did you become an engineer? Did you go to school?
Yes. So I have 2 degrees. I ended up with a Bachelor of Arts in Engineering.
Okay.
So I worked for a medical laser company. So I would travel the country repairing and installing medical grade lasers in hospitals and in when they do like the resurfacing, like the beauty and the skin tightening and the tattoo removal, all that stuff, like I would install and repair those.
Install and repair the machines that they
lasers.
use, the lasers that they use. That's crazy. I've just seen someone getting a laser removal and it looks painful. Like it looks crazy.
It's crazy. It's not painful. It just looks wild.
Yeah.
I've had tattoo removals with some of the machines I worked on, and like it just feels like somebody's like flicking you.
Yeah.
So it's not painful.
So it's not. Is it bad for your skin?
No, because they do skin tightening, resurfacing, all the RF treatments, the facials that are done in the clinics, all that stuff.
Okay, so here you are, a big engineer. You know, you're traveling. You're, living the life. I'm sure it's like a steady income.
Yeah, it's great.
And kids or no kids at this point?
Kids, yeah.
Kids, you have kids. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I think that's even more inspiring when you are a mom and you're, working and running a business. But so at this point, what was the thing that made you shift to going into Blue Mist?
So at the time, I went through a separation with my kid's father, and I didn't have support at home any longer. So I couldn't be on the road, 4 out of 7 days anymore. I had to be home and take care of my kids. So yeah, I just had to figure out a different industry where I can stay home and take care of them. And this job was not going to allow me to stay home. So I shifted into the cannabis industry. I've always done like baking and stuff like that. So I ended up getting into like the infused edibles, and I would make them for like different cannabis brands.
Okay. So you got into that because you just wanted something more. You wanted to be home.
I wanted to be home. I wanted to supplement my income. Like I had time. I was single now. I had my kids, but I have boys and they just fight all day and eat, and all I gotta do is feed them, and they don't need me.
But to figure out the formulas of this stuff, how did you get to that? How do you understand something like that? I mean, it seems so complex for someone that's in a totally different industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so,
well, when you have an engineering background and most of your school is numbers, and the whole thing about engineering is figuring out the problem, solving a problem. So I've always been pretty much a problem solver.
Right.
So that's kind of like translated into everything I've done. Every engineering job that I've gotten, like I've excelled so quickly and I've bypassed everybody. And it is a male industry. And I did hit a wall in my last job because my boss had actually stepped down. He was like a regional boss. I wanted that spot. Like I'm already top performer. They choose me. They call me. That's why I'm on the road so often, because I go and I get it done. If somebody can't do it, I went behind them and I fixed it. Like I was the problem solver. So I'm like, okay, you guys know I know what I'm doing. I want that. And I have 2 degrees at this point. A lot of people that they were bringing in barely had an associate, or maybe a certificate. All these men, somebody worked at Disneyland or something ridiculous. Like it was ridiculous, the reason they didn't give it to me. So they tried to tell me, okay, you got to go to more school. You have to go to management school and this and that. I'm like,
to move up the ladder in engineering.
To be the boss. To be the regional boss.
And that was your goal at the time.
Well, there was nothing else to do. I was bored. I was, I'm the best, and you can't stop me. So I'm, like, okay, give me a challenge. Let me help them. And they just wouldn't let me. They brought in somebody completely out of the industry, had no idea about engineering, not lasers, nothing, our schedule, brand new. And I'm like, no, like I'm not going to work for somebody that has no clue what's going on here.
Do you enjoy a challenge? It sounds like, and it sounds like you've always been like that all your life with the double degree. And where have you ever thought, like, where do I get this from? Or like sometimes I think when we're like wiring ourselves and developing, our own identity, because we all come from a family and, a mom and a dad and an environment that has influence on who we become. So did you ever stop and think about that?
I'm sure it was my parents' influence, because my mom, she basically ran a company herself. She worked her way from driving the forklift to load the trucks to running the whole company. So she ran the whole company.
Wow.
And my dad, he was into engineering, so he worked for the city of LA. He actually worked for the police department and the fire trucks, all their two-way communications. Like he was in charge of that. So he's in and out of the fire trucks, the cop cars, the radios. He would actually bring them home and we can hear what's going on in LA. We're in Riverside, but we're hearing everything. Yeah, it's crazy, but he has to test them and work it. So that's what I grew up around.
Okay, that makes sense now. Okay. I always like to figure out the puzzle piece from your child, or where you get your influence. And because some people could take that, and let's just say your parents were different and they were not saying that there's nothing wrong with, working, a 9-to-5 or like whatever the situation is. But some people move faster or move from that, or some but take that with them. Right. And it's just all dependent on the person and the situation. But But I love that. I love that, you know, you see for yourself more and you want to do more. And especially as a mom, you know, that's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to you are trying to move up, you know, as an engineer. They won't let you. You go back and let's go back to Blue Mist, you know?
Yeah. So I just, you know, I was home a little bit more. I told them I couldn't travel as much. So I tried to stay, you know, doing local jobs. I fell into the cannabis industry, you know, it was there. I was into it.
So you fell into it, but I want to know how. Did you go into a store and you're like, did you actually use products first or did you?
No, I just really developed them. I met somebody on Instagram.
Okay.
And he did
social
sessions.
media, guys.
Media.
You got to see, as much as some people don't like social media and like where it's going, it's the world we live in.
It is. It really is.
And it's the connection to, you know, creating yourself or your business or, you know, promoting yourself.
Right. Or learning something you didn't know, you know, finding somebody willing to teach you.
Yeah. So Instagram, you found someone.
Yeah, he was in the cannabis industry. He was trying to grow his brand.
Okay.
He would do like the little sessions and stuff, little pop-ups. And so I'm like, you know, like I can help. Like I had time. Like, let me come along.
This is like 2000.
This was 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
So like 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, 19. Yeah.
So yeah, we worked together. We ended up building a brand together. We opened like a little dispensary. We got through COVID running a mobile dispensary.
That's big.
Yeah. So I learned how to grow a company, develop products, marketing, Instagram, all that stuff, you know, as we
And
that.
do you have to be like, have a certified something to create anything?
To create anything, no. Like all these small businesses, these are people in their living rooms, in their kitchens, you know, creating things and posting it on Instagram and then transitioning to a warehouse, which is essentially like what I did. You know, I created everything in my home, eventually got into a warehouse, and that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. What makes someone more trustable in the industry? What should people look for when they're deciding on a brand? Like you said, anybody can do it from their home. So why would someone trust you or anyone else?
I would say like customer feedback. Your customers are going to tell the truth, whether you like it or not. So if you have a lot of good customer feedback to repost, like that's really going to help. If they have a Yelp or whatever, just kind of like ask people that have used their products. Referral is literally the best way to find anything. Like anything good that you've ever found, somebody referred it to you. Like, oh, what is the best? Where do you eat the best chicken? Where do you get the best? And they're going to refer you there. You know, it's word of mouth.
Right.
So the best, most powerful way to grow a brand is word of mouth. So just start. Yeah. Get it out there. Let people talk about you, refer them to you, and then it grows organically. And then you take it to the next level after that, but you need that organic base to get started.
So it goes back to just one-on-one, word of mouth, getting to know your people. So where did Blue Mist, the name, come from?
I just had to think about what is the most, like CBD is to help relax you, you know, bring you down, calm you, serene. So what is the most like perfect, serene environment that I can think of? And I love water. So
me too.
Yeah.
That's all I drink.
Besides
tequila.
Right. I love, you know, like the oceans and the waterfalls. Yeah. So at the bottom of a waterfall, and if you're in the middle of this massive green forest and this waterfall's coming crashing down and you're sitting at the bottom, like, what is it? What are you encompassed by? By a blue mist. Once the water crashes, creates this mist. It's the most refreshing thing. The sound is the most calming thing. So I just thought about the most perfect, calmest place. Yeah. You know?
No, yeah.
And that's
amazing. Yeah. I love that. I thought it was because of your blue eyes. Or no, you have what color eyes?
They're like green.
They're like green. Okay, they're pretty. I don't know if you guys could see, but she has bomb eyes.
Thank you. But yeah, no, blue is just my favorite color. It always has been.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. Well, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we are going to talk more about your brand, what kind of products we have here, and what's going to go on in the future.
Sounds good.
Okay. Have you heard this song? This is my dedication song to you.
Oh, thank you. I like it.
This is you all the way.
It is.
You guys,
my new song.
I want to see you do an Instagram reel to this.
Okay, you got it.
Dedicated to me.
For sure.
Because if you haven't seen her page, it's boss_lady_E. And she has all these dope boss ass lady. Like, and I'm saying there's a different style, you know, there's, you know, reels that are just like, you know, showing everything. No, she's doing business. She's looking cute. She's looking like a boss, and she is working. Not to mention, I forgot to tell the people that you are a car enthusiast.
Yes.
And
That's my hobby.
that's her hobby.
Yes.
Okay. I figured that much. I saw you racing cars.
Yeah.
Is that a car club or a
It's
luxury
a
car
run.
club?
Yeah, you just see like these car
Yeah.
runs, you know, all these high-end cars, and they run
Uh-huh.
the canyons. You just join right in, and so much fun.
What? See, that's my goal. My goal is to get a luxury car. I have a BMW right now, and that I cried when I got that. I graduated from college, and that was like moment, right?
Right.
Like you go from the Honda Civic to something like that,
Right.
and you're like, oh, whoa, this
Yeah.
is like luxury.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first car?
A Honda.
A Honda?
Yep.
It
Civic.
always starts like that.
Yeah.
You know?
So my parents can afford.
they're great
I loved
cars.
it though. Yeah,
Great
it ran
cars.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I crushed it because I was always into racing. But
Yeah.
it was a great car.
So you were in car clubs there too?
Yes.
Oh my
Yep. Since high
God.
school.
Crazy.
Yeah, we would ditch school to
Uh-huh.
race to the beach.
What?
Yeah.
Like Orange County?
Yeah.
Okay.
Newport, yeah.
Okay. And then you stepped up to, what was your first luxury car?
My first luxury car, it was pretty big. It was a Range Rover, but it was a Super Sport, the turbocharged. Yeah, it was really fast, but it was really big.
That was a car that I wanted at first, but then everybody got a Range Rover,
Yeah.
and then it went kind of outdated, and I was like, I don't want that no more.
Yeah.
I want the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
And then everybody got the G-Wagon. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, all the little race cars are nice, but
Yeah.
after the Honda, like I'm into like big cars. Like
Yeah.
that's why I like the Range Rover because it's big and it's
Yes.
fast. Like, you know, you're gonna
Yeah.
pull up and not understand, but I'm gonna be gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking for, I like bigger cars.
Mm-hmm.
My first car, well, not car, my first car is a Honda Civic, but when I took my license, it was in a Denali, and I passed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in a big Denali, but then I thought, man, I like the comfortability, the safety of just being in a bigger car.
Right.
To me, Porsches and small cars, they scare me on the freeway. I'm like,
Yeah.
someone's gonna smash me.
Any moment, and
yeah,
done.
and I'm done. Like,
yeah,
bye.
it's cute and all, but yeah, it's not safe. Not safe.
No. So, okay, what would you recommend? Like,
What BMW do you have now?
I have the X5, or sorry, X1. My friend has the X5. But
Okay,
yeah.
so I have the X4, but it's the M competition, and it is so fast.
Ooh, okay,
Yes.
okay. She's putting me on game. Like, you got to teach me. You
Yeah,
got to teach me because
yeah.
I have goals, you know, and I want to, you know, put my dream car on there. But I'm like, I don't even know. Like, what
Yeah.
is my dream car? I got to study.
Just start go like lease them, not lease them,
lease 'em.
but rent it. Like go
Okay.
to like Enterprise, the high end, and just rent it.
Oh,
Like
that's a
go to
good
Vegas.
idea.
Yeah,
Make
nice.
a trip out of
Yeah.
it.
That way you know what it
Yeah.
feels like. Because I just took mine to Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's the most, anybody that comes with me to Vegas in
Yeah.
my car, it's the most comfortable ride. Like I get there so fast, and it's like you don't oh I gotta get up. My butt hurts from sitting for so long. I'm like, my seats are great.
So I hate. Well, we've been having mic issues all
They're
all
dancing.
show.
Yeah.
They're dancing. They want to do more than just sit here. But so okay. Where was I going with this? Okay, so you went to Vegas and you took your car.
Yeah.
Well, what car did you took your car or
Yeah.
you rented?
Mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you I hate long rides.
Right.
And
Not in this car, you won't.
I don't like even being in the backseat. I'd rather be the driver
Right.
if I'm gonna do a long ride. But
Right.
yeah, I want something comfortable. I want my music blasting.
Yep.
You know, I want
A
it to be a
vibe.
vibe.
Yeah,
I
for
want
sure.
my sound system.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you prefer a BMW? the one you
BMW is
have?
not my preference on cars.
Yeah.
You know, I came from the 3 Series.
Okay.
And it was fast. It's fun. I actually gave it to my son when I bought this one. So like his first car is a BMW. I'm like, bro.
Excuse me, son. Shout
Yeah.
out to your son. What's his name?
Daniel.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Daniel.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Dang.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, they keep trying to drive mine. I'm like,
Yeah.
can't handle this power.
Okay.
It's great.
So going back to Vegas, what happened in Vegas?
I went to the Champs Expo. So being in CBD is considered cannabis. So being in the cannabis industry, like you go and you see all the new and up and coming products coming out, all the new companies. Mushrooms is coming up really big right now. So I'm working on including a psychedelic line to mine, and it is
Wow.
legal.
Okay.
So it's a legal dosage.
Okay.
But yeah, people are really
okay.
intrigued by mushrooms.
So let's go back to what's legal. CBD
Yes.
is legal.
Is.
Obviously, THC is?
THC derived the right way
Uh-huh.
is so like Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, HHC.
hell,
there's all
guys?
kinds of derivatives, you know,
Yeah,
like
different strains.
at the end of
Is
the
it
day,
different strains?
no, at the end
Or
of the
what does it
day,
mean?
it's the way it's extracted, the percentage that gets pulled out of the plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
In simplest terms.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The only difference is how long it lasts. So Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, they all just last different amount of time. So Delta 8 being the most reasonable. So I carry Delta 8. It's you still get the high, but not for as long.
Okay.
Delta 9 lasts longer, Delta
Okay.
10 longer, HHC longer. So it's literally cannabis just made in a legal facility. That's it. They gave it a new
Got
name.
it. And if you're a company, what do you have to do to be legal?
Licensing. So you have to apply for licensing. You have to be zoned. You know where your manufacturer has to be within a zone, and you have to have all the proper manufacturing licenses.
Got it. And is there a certain amount that you can carry of product? Like, do
Once
they
you're
limit you?
licensed, no. Yeah, and that's
Okay.
cannabis. CBD is kind of similar. They just changed all the rules. We didn't need licensing before. We didn't need any of that stuff. You know, just had to get your stuff tested. You know, everything's always been tested.
I have a question. So my mom, she doesn't sleep well, and so I ordered her a supplement before I met you, and it was a CBD product with melatonin, CBD, and I forget what else was in it. You know, just a few different things.
Right.
And she's the type of person to be like, I don't want any THC.
Right.
Like, I don't want to get
Yeah.
all weird. I better not get weird,
Yeah.
Vanessa. If I flip out, it's all your fault. Like, just telling me all
Yeah.
these things, and I'm
It's
like,
very
just
common.
relax. Like, so since we have products here, I wanted to talk a little bit about, that topic, because I think that's most people's concern out
Yes.
there is having too much of, THC, and even looking at CBD as, THC, or
Yes.
if it has derivatives from,
Right.
THC. So can you kind of like tell the people and educate everybody listening what is, how to differentiate between the two?
Really, if you have no cannabis, no THC history, and you're terrified to get high, stick to like pure CBD. So if you look at the packaging, pure CBD isolate, pure CBD distillate, because isolate and distillate is THC free. So there's zero traces of THC. It mostly comes from the hemp plant. So hemp plant, naturally grown. So if you get CBD flower and you smoke it, you just feel very relaxed, very chill. It looks like cannabis. It smokes like cannabis. There's a slightest amount of THC in it. So you might get like, if you smoked a cigarette for the first time, you kind of get lightheaded.
Okay.
That's kind of what CBD does if you smoke the raw
Because
flower.
there's always that small percent in CBD that is
THC.
a THC, and
If
that
it's
comes
raw.
from the hemp plant.
Yes.
Got
yes.
it.
Since the hemp and the cannabis plant are in the same family, there is still
I
traces.
might have a dumb question, but
Okay.
you know poppy seeds?
Yeah.
Do those have like...
You have to
I've heard-
ingest so much, like pounds of those to get
Yeah.
the effect that they
okay.
extracted and turned it into other things.
Maybe the scared people should start with poppy seeds.
Yeah.
Which is
Try
nothing.
those. Yeah. Eat a
This
pound.
isn't for you yet.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so we have gummies with a mix, right? THC and CBD.
Yes.
What is the best ratio for someone to buy when it comes to not having too much THC?
I think it's Delta 8, and that's why that's the only blend that I offer, because it's 1 part THC and 2 parts CBD. CBD actually counters the anxiety that people get from getting too high. So if you get too high and you're
okay.
very anxious, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, people are watching me, everybody's looking at me, like that's high anxiety.
Yeah.
CBD will actually counter that. So if you get too high and just some CBD, it'll help bring you down. Yeah.
What about for a hyper person, someone who has a lot of energy?
CBD.
CBD.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess it depends on your tolerance. So if there's somebody with a cannabis tolerance and it's very hyper that needs to calm down, Delta 8 is great because it'll like enhance your mood. So like all the energy, like you feel good. You don't feel like, I feel like when people like exert all this energy, they're looking for something to come back to feel good for. So the THC will kind of bring you up to a level like you feel good.
Yeah.
And the CBD will help balance you out. Like, okay, just chill now. Like we're good. We're happy. We're fulfilled. Everything's fine.
And
Yeah.
how long does it last?
Everybody's different, tolerance is different. Just like Tylenol. If you have a headache, some people take 2, some people take half, some people take 4 of them. You know, like everybody's tolerance when it comes to any sort of like aid, and it's different.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any products that you have that are 100% THC?
No, I don't have full THC licensing. As far as I can go is Delta 8. But I prefer to keep it that way because I don't want people to come in and see full THC products and get scared. People walk by my table if I do events and they're like, oh, I don't do CBD. CBD is not something you do. They're treating it like cannabis. They don't want to get high. Like if kids walk by the table, like parents like yank them away, like I'm selling like the devil's juice or something. It's like, I'm like, no, actually it's very good for kids. Like I give my kids CBD. So if there's, I've had friends with kids with ADHD, you know, they're kind of all over the place.
Right.
CBD actually helps really calm them all the way down.
I need to give that to my brother because he's off the wall.
Yeah.
Like he's 21, but he's off the wall still. I'm like, dude, you were a child with the hyperness. I get it. But now like
it's enough.
You need to chill.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. So when you go to these conventions, like you said in Las Vegas, do you add those products to what you have, or you just kind of scope it out, or what's the goal?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Okay.
So since mushrooms is so new, I'm not attempting to make it in-house, not yet. So what I will do is like I'll white label it, you know, private from another company. I'll get it and I'll put it in my own packaging. And if it does go really well, and or you know, if the company becomes so most of the time the company either like goes out of business, I can't get any more, they're unreliable, I can't have my people waiting. So if I need it, now I start to figure out how can I make this in-house, because at the end of the day everything's cheaper in-house. Like if I do it all myself, I have all the control over the time, over the quality, over everything. I'm not relying, waiting on somebody to make it, you know, trusting their quality, you know, programs, because I'm very high in quality. I don't want somebody to half-ass it just to make a quick buck. Like I want to make sure that my customer gets top quality product, because that's the only way they come back. If you try something and it's shitty, like you're not coming back.
No, I love that. I love that. That's great. That's a great quality. Yeah, guys, she makes everything in-house. And when you talked about white labeling, for the people who don't know, what does that mean?
It means you buy in bulk from a company that does it on a larger scale, and then you just put it into your own packaging.
Got it. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, and that's something I actually offer. I do help other CBD companies. So I will sell to them in bulk, and they will take, you know, blank packaging, and they'll put their own sticker on it, and they'll sell it. Yeah, and they do really well. Yeah.
See, that's the business side of you. That's like, okay, let's make more money.
Absolutely.
Let's
in every direction.
Bless more people with the product, you know? And that's what it all rooted from, was from your grandma, you know, getting sick and then making the product
about
for
the product.
her. Yeah, I love it. Let's talk about your products that you have here today. I'm looking at a candle that's CBD infused.
Open it
up. For those that can't see, that isn't watching the YouTube, if you're not and you're listening to the audio, go subscribe on YouTube at Vtheplug, so you can see these amazing products. But for now, you're just going to hear the audio. There goes my mic again. But yeah, so we have Blue Mist CBD infused candle, 100 CBD, 100 milligram. Island. This is the Island Vibe.
Yes, one of my very popular
Island Vibe scent. And so what made you start doing candles?
This is a crazy story. Okay, so
We got stories on stories.
I got so many stories. My life could be a freaking soap opera. Nobody even.
Ooh, this smell. Look at this. Oh, okay. So let me get the mic back. Having mic problems today. Okay, so this has a pink flower or a purple flower and a palm tree embedded into the wax. So it's colored.
An island vibe.
An island vibe. Yes. I love it. Oh my God. Look at this. So everybody who's watching, there you go. There you go. Hopefully you can see that. And it has CBD within the wax.
Yes. So it's kind of like if you use essential oils in a diffuser and you like warm them up and, you know, it smells good and you calm.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Well, so do you get calm off this? Chill?
Yeah, when you light it, absolutely. Yeah, just like a diffuser.
I love that. Okay, we're going to put it right here. So I'm sorry, did I ask you, how did you come up with the candle idea?
The candles. Yeah. Okay. So I was going through like a breakup at the time. Yeah. And, you know, I was looking for mentors. Like I had, you know, cannabis industry is lucrative. So I made a lot of money. And I needed to build something. I needed to put this money somewhere. I was looking for a mentor. So I hired a mentor. And as he brought me in, he realized that I was kind of like above like mentorship. So he decided to partner with me. He's like, look, I'm starting this candle company. You know, why don't you come in as a partner? You know, you put up half the money and then, you know, we'll split it and we'll go that way. So I'm like, okay, cool. I had nothing else to do. You know, I'm just kind of like, you know, sulking in my misery of life and, you know, not knowing what to do. So I agreed. So he brought me on and he actually had me develop the candle for him. So he had purchased vessels that he wanted to use for his aesthetic. He decided there's a certain type of wax that he wanted, but his issue was I can't ship these candles that I've, started to create across the country because they're melting by the time they get there. I need you to stabilize this formula. And I need you to make sure the scent throw is like once they light it, basically formulate a whole candle. Like candles were brand new to me. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
So I just get into my YouTube and start researching and, I take the stuff, I go back and forth and make a few and he loves it. So,
Wow.
yeah, but I've always been a pretty good judge of character, whether I listen to it or not.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew he was up to like some shady things. So I was in charge of like developing and
I see.
packaging. So he had me do all these things, and we still had not signed a 50-50 contract for the company. Like he wouldn't put me on the bank accounts yet. I'm like, I need a card. I need to order supplies.
Yeah.
So he gave me his bank card, and he's like, here, don't order anything unless you tell me first. I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what's up with the contract with the lawyer? And he's like, oh yeah. So he had us in an email, but every time I would try to push forward, he would fall back and kind of like
Shady.
Yeah, it was
a
real
little
shady. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then he had me come and run a line, a batch of candles at his home. He's like, come over here and make them here. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. I have everything in my home. I've already made everything here. Everything's set up. All my formulations are here. I'm like, this is weird. So I went over there and as he asked, and I did it. And he's just watching the whole time, basically trying to figure out how I'm making this.
Stealing your recipe.
Basically, yes.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I never wrote it down. I never told him the exact percentage, like I'll give him like vague, okay, this is 30% this or that. But like he doesn't understand what that means in real numbers.
Yeah.
Like, people like that are not good with numbers, they're not going to be like, okay, yeah, this is 242 grams of that. And this like, no, he has no clue. So I just vague with him. And shortly after that, he just decided, he's like, I don't want to move forward with this partnership anymore. I've came to my final decision and that's it.
Yeah.
Basically just cut me off. But I had already invested $50,000 with him, cash.
Oh my gosh.
So first he's like, oh, it'll be $50,000 to start this company and that should be great. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a lot of money. I put 25, you put 25, fine.
Yeah.
I take him the cash. I never see his money. I never see his bank account with his money in it. Maybe a month later, he decides, you know what, we're going on a good, in a good direction.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and double down, put another 25. I'll put another 25. So that's $100,000 to start a candle company.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't need that kind of money. But me, I'm brand new into
Yeah.
doing it myself. I ran it for somebody else, but and I have money. And that was my mistake, letting him know that I had the money to invest. So of course he's going to,
Yeah. See, now you guys know why she's a boss, because she has skin in the game. When you have a business and you run it, you have to front the money. And I think that's the hardest part about a business too. How did you get your funding when you first started? Did you just like hustle and work and save? And
I saved all the money I made in the cannabis industry. I saved it. I saved it and I had it there. It was all cash. So I had a lot of money in cash. Just there.
Good for you.
So that's how I kind of that's where I messed up too. There was no paper trail. I gave this man $50,000 cash, no paper trail. So at any time he could have disappeared and took my money and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Luckily I know where he lives. Luckily, I have friends. I can get my stuff back if I need to. Like I'm not brand new. Like, I'm going to let you go as far as you think you're going to go.
Right. Yeah.
But I disclosed these things along the way, letting him understand, like, don't really mess with me. I know where you live. I know who lives here. Like,
no. You know what you're
I'm gonna
doing.
get my stuff.
Yeah.
So, So it took him a while, and he paid me back, but like in checks from his company, however he did it. But I got my money back at the end of the day. That's the most important part.
Exactly.
And he went on his way, and I haven't heard anything of him or the company since. And here I am.
There you are. Okay, so then we got these, which are
those are the Delta 8.
The Delta 8 that you're talking about.
Yes.
The CBD and they're vegan.
Yes, of course. I have a huge vegan following.
300 milligrams here.
Yeah.
Got that. On that side, what do we have?
We have a coconut tincture that's 1,500 milligrams. Ooh. Yeah, and you can put that in drinks, so right under your tongue. Yeah.
Okay. Coconut tincture, 1,500 milligrams there. And then we got a wellness spray.
Yes, so we have a cryo spray. So this is huge for the fitness industry. So I'm actually doing the Fit Expo in 2 weeks. And this is great for recovery. So like if you, leg day, everybody loves leg day. Me. But the day or two after leg day is not so great.
No.
This helps soothe like your sore muscles. So CBD like reduces inflammation and your muscles are inflamed after a workout. It hurts, it's sore. This like helps you get through the day. Like I spray it on when I get home, helps me sleep. Like if you work out way too hard and you're restless in the bed and my legs hurt, tossing, this helps soothe that.
Amazing. I can't wait to use this. And then lastly, we have, I'm going to give that to you. We have the CBD gummy rings. Yes. Ooh, are these peach or?
That one's watermelon.
This is watermelon.
Yes.
Oh, because they remind me of the peach rings.
I have peach flavor as well. So I have peach,
Okay.
apple, and watermelon.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And
Those-
these are
yeah.
25 milligrams?
A piece.
A piece.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is the watermelon, these ones, the rings more? No, they're less than the other ones.
No, they're exactly the same.
Or they're the same.
Yeah.
Okay, they're just rings.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. I like that. Can't wait to use them. Amazing. So we talked a little bit about your product, about what you're creating with the candles. Is there anything else that you're working on?
So I have 2 other companies. One's a candle company and one is a wellness. So that's kind of where I was gonna go with this whole hemp spray.
Okay.
You can't put CBD on Amazon. You
Yeah.
can't market CBD. You can't put it on Google. No ads
Yeah.
and nothing like that. But hemp you can.
Yeah.
People don't realize it's exactly the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
Lightning bulb.
So if you change the words on the front of the package,
Yeah.
now I can put it on Amazon.
Hello.
Yeah, so
Hello.
I'm like,
Okay.
no, roadblocks don't exist.
Know
to me.
the
I'm going around.
ingredients. Know the ingredients. Know your
know the
loopholes.
laws. Know the words. Everybody plays with words to
I
whole
love
play on
it.
words. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of like future endeavors and what you're doing, I did see that you you met the Jerry Maguire, David Meltzer.
David Meltzer, yes.
You met him.
Yes.
And that's awesome. One, because I love Jerry Maguire, the movie. 2, he's the sports agent or the owner of the sports agent that controlled who the character Jerry Maguire, because that's not his real name.
Right.
I forget who the real guy's name is,
Yeah,
right?
no
I don't know who it is. But anyways, like you work with big people,
Yeah.
you know, within the industry, like other investors, you know, you're not just out here at some, you know, corporate or not corporate building, but some building creating your products. You have like, you know, high-end clients, you have a lot of connections within the business world. And how did that connection happen?
With David Meltzer, they found me at the Fit Expo. So when I started doing the Fit Expo, I met I've worked with a lot of bodybuilders as well, a lot of people in the industry, and that's extremely helpful. And that's why I kind of started gearing things. That's where the crowd spray came from, because it's convenient to use. Like if you're sore, like, you know, I have a lotion, I have like a cream, but they don't want to do that. They want to spray and go. Everybody, you know, especially fitness. If you take care of your body, you take care of your life and your mind. You're going.
Yeah,
You
simple
gotta keep
to the
going.
point.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's get to business.
Yeah. So that's where they found me, and I've done 3 of his shows. I was a spotlight, I was an interview, and then I did a co-host.
I saw that. Yeah.
So it was real great.
That's amazing. Well, anybody listening, if you want to have her on your show or, you know, even use her products, you can go to her website, which is CBD,
LumisCBD.com.
LumisCBD.com. Her Instagram is boss_lady
_E. Yeah.
Underscore E. I forget the E at the end. Okay, so just in closing, I like to do a segment called Pull the Plug, where it's, you know, not so much business questions or, you know, what you're doing, but I like to learn how you unplug from, you know, the busyness, the madness of your business. And it's just a few fun questions. So, yeah, I'm going to get into it.
All right.
Don't feel pressure. It's nothing crazy. But if you had one dish to live off of, one food to live off
my
for
kids
the
ask
rest
me
of
this
your
all
life,
the time.
what would you live with eating?
Tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah. It's easy,
Carne
to the
asada,
point.
chicken. Which one? You have to
Chicken
pick
tacos.
one meat. Chicken?
Chicken,
Okay. You're not a beef person.
No, I don't eat red meat.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Next time you come, maybe I'll have some chicken tacos for you waiting. Okay. One thing that I know, but they don't know, is your favorite drink of choice.
Alcohol?
Yeah.
I don't drink a lot, but if I do, we got to start with an espresso martini.
Yeah. She got me started. You really did get me started on
Awesome.
those.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is a new question. We might not use this, or we might. Okay. What's the dumbest thing you've done, but actually, what? I don't even know what the dumbest. Okay, what is the dumbest thing you've done, but don't want to admit?
That's a hard one.
I have one for myself.
What?
I can't tell the people. Okay, I'll tell the people while you're thinking of yours.
Okay.
So one time I was in a hurry, and I was putting gas in my car, and I was thinking of all the things I had to do and the places I had to go. And like the gas in it, I was like, okay, it's done. I get in my car and I drive off, and I take off with the gas still plugged in. So I was like, wow, that was a stupid move.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay,
But
then
yeah.
if that's the kind of thing we're talking about, then again, I was in a rush, similar thing. I had just gotten in my car and I got it wrapped, you know, so I was in a rush. I get in my car, I open the garage door, I send a email or text real fast. The garage door hadn't finished opening. I put it in reverse and I backed out. So I pulled the whole garage out and I scraped up all my wrap. I'm like, oh my God. I was so upset. But yeah, it's just being in a rush. That's it. The dumbest things happen when you're in a rush.
Yeah. What's your favorite song to unwind to that just soothes you out? CBD soothes you out, obviously, but
for me,
is it a turn up? Is it a slow jam? Or
it depends on my mood. It depends on what I'm going through. Yeah. And I usually go through like artists. So like every like month or so, it'll be one artist that I will listen to consecutively. Like that's it.
So tell us what was one artist, maybe many months, you know?
My kids will tell you. Anybody that's been around me, Nipsey Hussle is probably the most thing that I listen to all the time.
Nipsey
I know.
right there. We got Nipsey right there.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, on that note, I think that's a good note to end off of on unwinding, listening to Nipsey, having your CBD, you know, lighting your candle. You guys, it's been an amazing episode of learning about CBD and all the products that you guys can have with you by just going to her page, boss_lady_E. Yes, I got it. And
or Blue Mist CBD.
Or Blue Mist CBD if they Google that, right?
Yeah, and on Instagram. So all the pictures are there. A lot of information is there as well. We post daily.
Blue Mist CBD. Okay, guys, go check it out. I'm Vtheplug, and this is Erika, and we are out. Have a great rest of your day.